There is one conspiracy theory that I do actually feel comfortable standing behind. Here's what it is.
Here we go.
You got to go with me on this, though.
I'm going.
Because I'm about to change your life.
Great, now we're in.
You are familiar with, you've ever been to a recipe where they're like, don't forget to put a bay leaf in.
Yeah.
My conspiracy theory is I think that we're all living in a massive hoax run by Big Bay Leaf.
Big Bay Leaf.
Which is, no one knows what it is. It weighs nothing, and it costs $8. And yet, we're all terrified to stop using it.
So you teach at NYU?
I do.
Awesome.
My grad students have been keeping me humble. They keep threatening to make collages of any bad reviews we get.
Yeah.
And they keep sending me my least flattering photos that I take in press.
And you teach film writing? Or
I teach screen and television writing.
Awesome. So you've written and directed Kill Me, featuring
Yes.
Charlie Day, Allison Williams, and Giancarlo Esposito. Give us the rundown. Tell us a little bit about the film.
Yeah, the movie is a very dark comedy. It's a murder mystery, and it's about mental health. And it's a lot more fun than that probably sounds.
It really is, yeah.
Yeah, and so we premiered here at South by, and it's been really fun to see people discovering the movie and liking the movie and supporting the movie, and yeah, we're having a good time.
What are you doing here?
I am placing you under citizen's arrest.
Jimmy, who is this?
My murder.
His ex-girlfriend.
Well, I'd say that's motive.
Can you tell me a little bit about what inspired this story? I saw you said that you are both the protagonist, Jimmy, his new friend Margot, and his entire family all at once. That was a very interesting way to put it.
Yeah, I mean, the movie has a lot of different perspectives as it relates to the impact of mental illness, right? What it's like when it's you, what it's like when it's your partner, what it's like when it's your patient, what it's like when it's your kid or your brother. So yeah, I have relationships, and personal experiences in all of those veins. And so, I think everyone can probably find some piece of the movie where they see themselves.
Totally.
Or, at least that's my hope.
Far beyond hope, you definitely achieved that.
Cool.
And was there anybody in particular that you were channeling when you were writing the Jimmy character?
Yeah, no, Jimmy came really from my own experience with, depression and with trying to wrangle my own little special brain, as we all do from time to time.
Totally.
And yeah, I mean, the script was at times, challenging to write emotionally, and I took some breaks, but I don't actually normally do when I write a screenplay, just because, that's a tough day at the office to write, a monologue about, your own feelings and thoughts. But it was important to me to do it from an honest and vulnerable place. And I think if you want an audience to engage with something honestly, you kind of got to go first and put yourself out there. And so that's what I tried to do.
I hadn't really thought about it as almost like a perspective film, in the sense that you're channeling all of these perspectives throughout. From the side of the family, it feels very serious.
Yeah,
right?
Sure. The movie rides a lot of different tonal lines, and to me, in order to render mental illness and depression, honestly, you have to be willing to have comedy in it, because I think it would have been dishonest to portray it as really somber and self-serious, because at least the way I sort of feel is, depression it's very heavy, it can be very scary, it can be very deadly, it's very serious. It also can be dumb and annoying and stupid and silly, and you can have these moments of being with everything going on in the world, my own brain is trying to kill me. What an annoying, it feels like stepping on a rake 1,000 times inside your own head. You're just what a dumbass problem this is to have. And so, yeah, I mean, I think that I tried to commit to the honesty, but oftentimes I think people assume that means committing to the seriousness. And in many ways, you have to be honest about when things are funny and when things are sloppy and when things are silly.
I love that part of the film, and I love that it's like, you codify it as like a murder mystery comedy. And when we were finishing, I just love that twist where you're at the end of the film, you're like, he is the murderer and he is also the murdered.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing about sort of how the movie, I think, iterates on the idea of a murder mystery. Is he is both body and detective. It's
a great twist.
It's a fun journey to go on.
It's a great twist. So what was it like working with this all-star cast? Like I can't
Incredible.
even imagine.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's such a gift to any filmmaker, but particularly as a first-time filmmaker. Like, my whole strategy was just to hide behind an incredible cast and like try and remember to press record and keep it in focus.
Yeah.
Because I figure if we did that, we would be good. But yeah, they're just, it's a very performance-focused movie.
Totally.
It's about incredible actors acting their faces off, and there's big moments for them to dig into, and yeah, I think it's really exciting.
Was there a lot of improv on set?
No, not really. I mean, like, Charlie is such a comedic mastermind, and he and I, or just him, but like, he would find incredible bits, here and there, and we would play.
Yeah.
But it was not we did a lot of work in prep to really, build the script to be exactly where we wanted it to be.
Cool.
But then, yeah, you find little moments of magic along the way. That's what makes it so fun. Yeah.
When did I guess Charlie emerge as Jimmy, like in the casting process, or were you already thinking about him before? Did you know him before?
No, I mean, he read the script. One of our producers, Keith Goldberg, was working on a TV project with Charlie, and they needed a writer. And Keith was like, "Hey, I want to share the script with Charlie. I think he would be sort of a good writing sample." And Charlie read that script, and he called me and was like, "Dude, I would do this movie for free." He really responded to it, and yeah, I mean, people ask me if I like either wrote the script for him or rewrote it for him, and the answer is no. He's just that perfect for the character. Like, it's just his
he
voice.
clicked in. Obviously, there's that iconic like meme of him in front of the story.
Yeah,
in
Pepe
front of
Sylvia.
yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
So it seemed
just
like
fit
perfect.
it like a glove.
I was obsessed with like the utilization of the green sauce. Like, and so like in my mind, I'm like a hot sauce fanatic and
Sure.
and like a green, like I would say almost green sauce connoisseur. If you went in my fridge, I have all these different sauces I've made by myself.
Great.
So like, do you love green sauce, or do you just thought it was funny that he would be so particular about this particular thing?
I care a lot about lunch,
Yeah,
and so
I got that
it was
feeling.
it was not a surprise to people that know me that I would hang someone's entire mental health crisis on condiments. But it really did come from me and my former assistant Dasha. We used to order lunch a lot from a Cuban place in New York called Sophie's Cuban, and they had a great green sauce. And I was trying to crack this murder mystery and the plot, and the answer was like quite literally right in front of us. And so
Yeah. It's a fun little
we went from
fun
there.
little tool there. Of
Totally.
Green sauce.
Yeah,
being, like,
exactly.
he's hung up on it. He's like, "Did I put it on? Did I not?"
Yeah.
And I love that moment. And I love a good green sauce. so.
Exactly.
It's like a little bit of American commentary when he heads into the gun store.
Yeah.
But winds up with just some nunchucks and some
And
mace.
some pepper spray, yeah.
I really enjoyed that.
Yeah,
and-
Tony Cavallero absolutely rips in that scene. He's so funny. I mean, it was written in the script of like, you can get nunchucks or you can get mace, but he had this idea of like, now you can combine these and let me show you how. And it was just so funny. I was like, we got to put that in the movie.
That's awesome. So just a little bit of your own backstory. How'd you get into film? This is this your directorial debut?
Yes, it is.
And you've definitely done some writing with History of Us, Ghost Team. This I saw graphic novel work with like Tin Can Society. So, anyways, how'd you get your start?
Yeah, I mean, I got an undergraduate degree in screenwriting, and thank God that panned out, because otherwise I would be a dentist with a screenwriting degree. But no, I mean, I was very lucky that like this has really been the only job I've ever had. Like, I've been working as a screenwriter since like 3 or 4 months after I graduated college. I was signed by my manager then, who tracked me into kind of my first little like baby tiny screenwriting deal, and then I have just been doing it ever since, and I love it. But yeah, I'd never gotten behind the camera before, and so this was a really amazing adventure.
That's awesome. And how do you think some of your previous like writing roles prepared you for what I guess maybe this is your piece de resistance of the moment, like sort of.
Yeah, I
your
mean, I
biggest-
got to spend my whole career on set, and so
Yeah.
like that's the thing. Like as a first-time filmmaker, at least it wasn't my first time being exposed to the mechanics of filmmaking. I also have gotten to work with collaborate with some great directors and learn from them, and they've taken my panicked calls during prep, and given me their wise advice. I was working with a director named Rick Romanois, amazing action movie director, and he relayed a piece of advice that was given to him. I don't honestly remember who it was. It might have been like Michael Bay or something. But he said he went to him and was like, "So what advice do you have about making your first feature?" And he goes, "Oh, it's really easy. What you want to do is just direct a couple movies first, before you do your first one." And he goes, "Well, what do I do if my first one is my first one?" He goes, "Oh, then you're fucked."
That's such a good, I love it.
So yeah, that's very comforting.
That's awesome. You said there's a conspiracy theory that you'd like to reveal.
I think what I said was there is one conspiracy theory that I do actually feel comfortable standing behind.
Okay.
Great. Yeah, this is good. Let's put this out there forever. I can feel my producers tensing up, and I'm so excited about that. Don't worry. Here's what it is.
Here we go.
You got to go with me on this.
I'm going.
because I'm about to change your life.
Here we go. Can't
So
wait.
You cook.
I'm extremely interested in cooking and cooking
Okay.
every day. I made
All right.
gumbo last night.
So, by the way, I'm gonna need an extra 2 hours for this. We're gonna get it.
Great. Now we're in.
You are familiar with, you've ever been a recipe where they're like, don't forget to put a bay leaf in.
Yeah, I put two or three in mine last night.
Exactly. My conspiracy theory is I think that we're all living in a massive hoax run by Big Bay Leaf.
Big Bay Leaf.
Which is, no one knows what it tastes like.
Do you ever get them fresh?
I've had some fresh bay. But
Okay.
again, the dried bay leaf is really where we're focusing here.
That smell.
No one knows what it is.
Yeah.
It's the only spice that for some reason we don't grind up and has to be removed before we eat it because God forbid you should taste whatever the invisible bay flavor is. It weighs nothing and it costs $8, right? The sociopaths at McCormick or whatever have lured us into being like, what do we do with all of this lawn refuse every year? And they're like, what if we sell it 2 fragile leaves at a time with an invisible taste that no one can point to, and yet we're all terrified to stop using it. And so it's a real emperor has no clothes moment here, I think, for you and all of your listeners.
Oh no. It's a coagulant. It's a thickener.
Is it in its whole form when strained out? Have you ever been like, thank God for the thickness provided by the dried bay leaf that was in there for a little?
That's why you put it in gumbo, so it gets just ever so slightly thicker.
In gumbo, which I gotta take this off.
Here we go. I got you heated up.
So,
I love this.
Gumbo, which comes from the Congolese word gombo,
Okay.
which means
Did you say gumbo twice there?
no,
Okay.
gombo, G-O-M-B-O,
gombo, okay.
right? Which is
I
the
thought you were
word
riffing.
for okra.
Yeah.
Because okra
Which
was
is
the
the
original thickener of
thickener.
gumbo. Gumbo now is typically what you're also thinking about is gumbo filet powder, which is made from the leaves of, I believe, the sassafras
That
tree.
is true.
Because it used to be used with something else that is actually
So
poisonous.
they won't use it like a real Cajun,
But
won't use
none of
gumbo
this
filet.
exonerates Big Bay Leaf.
Big Bailey. You know what?
I'm telling you.
I'm going with you on it
It's
because
a $1 billion industry, maybe. I made that up, but it feels right, right?
it's probably like a couple $100,000 industry. I don't know.
No, not at
Million?
When was the last time you bought bay leaf at Whole Foods?
You know, I buy them fresh in like a little thing. And
Fresh
then
bay is slightly different, but
Yeah.
again, dried bay leaf, I'm telling you, they rake it up
I love
off
this.
of people's lawns. They put it in a glass jar that costs way more.
Just right after
I
the
can
kids-
feel
the kids are
everyone's
front flipping
minds
into bay
exploding
leaves.
right now. And you have to decide whether you want to live the truth or whether you want to go back into your little comfortable
I've
hole.
never- I have to say, I've
believing
never
in Big
given
Bay
up.
Leaf.
I'm never
Anyway,
giving
see
up on
Kill
bay
Me
leaf.
whenever it comes out. I know it's hard for you to recover
I'm
after
glad we
having
were
your
able to
mind
get to this
broadened
place.
instead of just shuffling like lemmings, like sheep into the bay leaf aisle.
I love it.
They're not gonna get me.
So, how will audiences be consuming Kill Me? Is it going to the theaters or is it like after these premieres?
I think they looked at cinnamon sticks and were like, we can iterate this model.
But Big Cinnamon is still crushing.
Big Cinnamon is crushing, but they were
and
like, how else can we expand
nobody's
this
forgetting
sector?
about it.
Yeah.
Once you put it in.
Where's Kill Me headed next? Hopefully distribution. And people will see. We have an amazing South by added a Buzz screening tonight. So there's an additional chance to see the movie if you haven't at South by and you're here and this comes out fast enough that what I'm saying is relevant.
Nope.
Never mind. There was a Buzz screening in the past and it went great.
That's awesome. So South by is going awesome.
South by is going great. And so we
I can imagine.
screen again tonight, then we screen again tomorrow at the State. And then, hopefully off into the world.
All right, cool. What's the funnest thing you've done here in Austin since you got here?
I am trying to eat my weight in barbecue.
Okay, hell yeah. So
What's your
Tex-Mex-
spot?
Okay, I will say, are you kind of staying in the downtown?
Yeah.
Okay, I'd say Terry Black's.
Okay.
Would be like one of my, but brisket. There's there's different places for different things.
Brisket's the priority.
Yeah,
for
yeah.
me.
So if brisket's your priority, then you're definitely going to
Great.
Terry Black's, okay? And then I'll say if you want to try some really, really good pork ribs, I like the pork ribs at this place called Style Switch, but it's a little further up.
You are the second person to recommend Style Switch. I also
Yeah.
heard their turkey is really good.
Turkey everywhere in Texas is great, but yes,
Sure.
that Style Switch is great. And it's an unsung hero of the whole vibe.
That's
It's
what
like
I've heard. I'm gonna
a
check
lot
it
of
out.
A lot of Texans, we go to the barbecue and we just buy like 3 pounds of turkey and put it in the fridge and make our sandwiches from that instead of like
Into it.
lunch meat from
All
the
right.
store.
I'll check it out.
Yeah. So anyways, Tex-Mex or barbecue?
Oh, barbecue.
Barbecue all day. All right, you're the first. Every person I've asked this question to.
That's insane.
I know. I couldn't
That's
believe it.
insane.
Now, are you a whiskey or tequila guy?
Whiskey.
All right.
But I'm a gin guy more than both of those.
Okay, gin martini or gin
martini.
juice. Okay, wonderful. I'm a vodka martini guy. My mom makes fun
That's
of me for
terrible.
it. I know. My mom makes fun of me
That's
for it too.
terrible.
The next question is, what is your favorite pizza in New York?
Ooh, okay, that's tough. I mean, man, I'm gonna get myself roasted somehow. But I know I stand behind
It's all
it.
good.
So
There's-
where I live in Brooklyn is like there's a strong pizza presence because it's where Grimaldi's is, which people really like, Giuliano's, which is an offshoot.
Yep, all good.
I am someone who I am more of a New York slice guy than a elevated Neapolitan pizza kind of guy. But there's a couple places that have a nice little marriage of two. And so my favorite pizza place is right down the street, a place called Ignazio's that makes wonderful New York pizza.
Yeah,
I also really love Pizza Moto for a nicer pizza.
Pizza
but
Moto,
I think the best pizza in New York is the one that you have at 2 a.m.
I
when you need
always
it.
say that. It's like the one that you have when you need it. Exactly.
Exactly.
How do you feel about streaming? How do you feel about the trash pile that is all the content that you have access to at all times? Do you think that the democratization of the film industry has been good for the art? And do you think that its reconsolidation is welcomed or scary?
Yeah, I mean, look, it's the reality with streaming is I like so many people who love movies will always be romantic and a big fan of the theatrical experience. I don't want to see it go anywhere. But also I understand that there's also a financial barrier to that for a lot of people, right? And it's not just the price of movie tickets, but if you need a babysitter and those kinds of things, it could, if the, there's no world in which streaming has not also made more movies more accessible to a wider amount of people.
Totally.
It's also, a flawed system, of course. I think that consolidation has historically never done good things for the laborer and for the type of things that, the rich tapestry of filmmaking that's out there. That and corporate consolidation never really play well together. And so I am very nervous about it.
Yeah.
And the other thing too, and I'm not trying to be a super hipster physical media guy, but it is a reality that the assumption that once it's out on the internet or streaming that it exists forever is absolutely provably demonstrably flawed in that movies can disappear from streaming and ultimately become impossible to watch and hard to find.
Yes.
And so there's a weird illusion to streaming too that it is this bottomless
Yeah.
where everything is there and there are movies that were available and now are not. And so there's I think room for all of this under a big tent as long as it's managed well, which it obviously rarely is.
Yeah.
I mean, I assume that my Bay Leaf conspiracy theories will end my career before streaming does, but then again, you never know.
You never know. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining me in the booth. It's been
Absolutely, my
really fun.
pleasure. Sounds good. Thanks,
Cheers.
buddy. Appreciate it.
You.